Live from the MMB Radio Studios. It's your boy Mixmaster B here for the MMB Radio Podcast. And right now, I have on the phone lines Miss Trina Michaels. How are you?
I'm fabulous, Mixmaster B. How are you?
Doing awesome. So, wow, I got a lot of things I want to talk about today because
dear Lord, let's get started.
A lot of people know you from different realms of entertainment.
Yes.
And most notably being an adult film star, but you also moonlight as a pro wrestler. So,
yes.
I mean, it's like a match made in heaven in my world. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
being a porn fan and a wrestling
best of
fan.
both nerdy worlds.
Exactly. You know. So I guess first thing we have to start off with is how you got into the porn business. I know you are retired from that business, right?
I don't like to use the word retired. I am currently not filming.
Okay, it's just like wrestlers. You never say you're retired. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You never know what the future holds. But so how did I get into making movies? I had my picture on a modeling website, got contacted by an agent, went to LA, and the rest is history.
And, you know, it's
pretty
funny
simple. You know, the same way everybody else gets into it.
You know, it's funny because I always ask this question. I just had another guest on earlier, and we were talking about it, and it seems like everybody kind of goes the same path to getting into it. But what drove you to want to do it? Like, were you always interested in doing that kind of stuff? Were you always like a promiscuous sexual person?
I mean, I don't think anybody ever is like, oh, I'm going to get into porn. And
You'd be
if
surprised.
that is your aspiration, there is something wrong with you. But I guess I was doing a lot of freaky stuff in my personal life. You know, when you're 18 and you move out of your parents' house, you go crazy. And then, yeah, I guess when I got approached by the agent, it was just kind of like, I guess, sure, why not? And I really had no idea what I was getting into. And you know, the first film went easy. It was fine. I felt comfortable and everything, and so it was like, okay, well that wasn't so bad. Let's do it again. And
then you went on to do from what, the beginning all the way up until 2008, and then you just stopped cold turkey,
yeah,
or did you kind of just lost interest in it?
I don't know. Sometime in between like 2008, 2011, the industry itself started going through like a big shift. You know, with the free stuff on the internet coming more popular and DVD sales going down and all that kind of stuff. So that was the beginning of the shift in the industry. And then I don't know, I guess I'd been around for a little while at that point anyway, so I'd already shot a lot. So I wasn't filming as much. That's about the time I kind of started getting into wrestling. So it worked out, you know, like I could put my focus on wrestling and not film as much. And then it just slowly started being less and less that I would go to LA. So, no.
Now, have you always had an interest in wrestling?
Yes, I never imagined working in the business. I had no idea, like, the whole underground side of it. You know, I found out about WWE, I don't know, later in high school, I guess you could say. I thought it was cool. I really didn't know much about it, but I watched it for a little bit. But that fan side of me that like appreciates the art and the technical side of it, it's always there.
And how did you get into training for it?
Let's see. Well, I did my first wrestling show when I still lived out in LA, kind of as a favor for a friend. And after that, I got on a couple other local shows in the LA area, and that had a lot of fun. Started building this character, and it's like everybody's all, oh, the porn star that's in wrestling, what? And then when I moved out here to Florida, you know, I just started working shows when I got here, and kind of took its own little course from there. I got involved with Dragon Gate and FIP and all that. So.
Now, what do you want to do in the wrestling business? Like, do you really want to get? I know you started off doing like as a valet and a manager. Mm-hmm. Do you really want to get in there and just kind of tussle with people? And like, how serious do you want to take this?
I prefer the term wrestler that bumps, manager, a wrestler that bumps. Duh.
Most
I prefer
wrestlers
the
do
term
bump. Yes.
manager that bumps, because not all managers are going to get in the ring and take crazy moves like a pile driver onto a chair. But I like doing the extreme stuff. It's kind of what I was known for in the other business. So I guess I'm one of the people that's more willing to do crazy stuff in wrestling as well. But I honestly, I like the manager role. I don't think there's enough strong manager characters. So that's what I really tried to stay focused on. However, I don't mind getting in the ring when the circumstances call for it, and not afraid of a fight. So
now, if someone were to offer you to still do porn, would you still take a listen to it, or like have you gotten so far into the wrestling now that you're kind of like not really interested in doing that anymore?
I mean, I've been fine. I will admit, not having that easy money from porn definitely sucks. But there's a certain lifestyle you get used to living when you don't have to think about the money, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I can't buy that. That's out of my price range now. Would I go back to it? I am open to the idea, but it'd have to be for the right company, the right price, and I would definitely want to limit my exposure in that world, because I do think at this point, if I were to film again right now, it would affect my wrestling, because I've worked so hard to move away from that image that I think if I did a video right now, it would hurt any chance I have with wrestling. So
now, obviously, WWE is probably something that's out of the picture, and this because they try to distance themselves from every goddamn thing anymore because they're so PC.
Yeah.
They're
lame.
Yeah, they are definitely drinking out of the Starbucks cups right now because it's it's the PC thing to do. But did you get any kind of backlash from some of these other independent leagues that you were working with, or did they kind of embrace it and thought it was really kick ass that you were able to cross over?
I've been fortunate to find companies that are willing to work with me. But I also have a lot that turn me down because they say stupid things like, oh, we run in a church, so we can't have you there. Oh, my wife will get offended. Like, really? Do you want to sell some tickets, or do you want to offend some people? Come on.
The only way you're getting offended is if you're they have your little Titantron video just happens to be one of your scenes, you know what I mean? Which in my book would be totally kick ass, you know what I mean? I'd probably be like, fuck it, take your time going to the ring. Let's just watch this.
Let's just play
you know
this.
what I mean? Yeah, let's just play this. You just go in the ring. Would that be kind of weird though? If you're just sitting there just talking on the mic and people are just kind of watching this video and you're like,
they're
hello,
watching in the background.
I'm in the ring,
The TV music playing in the background, the moaning.
Exactly. So,
oh my.
So you worked with Dragon Gate and you worked with a couple other promotions, and you're doing the whole wrestling thing. Where do you see yourself in the near future and long term doing with wrestling? Do you want to see yourself be taken seriously as a wrestler, or are you just kind of content with what you're doing right now?
Well, I guess we were kind of saying earlier, I'm happy staying as the manager part. I will leave heavy duty wrestling to the pros, if you want to put it that way. But I would like to expand on my managing aspect. I think I could be used in other companies to travel and stuff, except people I think don't quite know how to book me. And my vision, or my vision is out of state companies, as I'm Florida based, so any other state that I could travel to. The reason you should bring me in is to help promote your up and coming guy, the one person that is a good wrestler but needs a little bit of extra attention to help get him over, and that's where I come in. But I think people are just kind of at a loss of how to book me. There's nobody like me, so.
Yeah, there's not many porn star wrestlers, unless you go back to Val Venus days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it's worth noting too that when you were working in Dragon Gate, you were also the valet and manager for Dean Ambrose when he was going under the name John Moxley, right?
Yes, yeah. For one weekend, yes, we did get to work together. That was a cool experience.
So there you go. So you have that under, people that don't know how to book you or why they should be booking you. She just made Dean Ambrose in one weekend.
There you go.
You can totally take credit for that.
And it was the weekend, his last appearance at Dragon Gate, so
Yes.
I'll pop my own collar on that one now.
Exactly. So, I also been told here you go by the nickname of Moody Michaels, and I was told to ask why people call you Moody Michaels.
People call me, well, one person in particular calls me Moody Michaels because everybody else seems to think that I'm very nice and, oh, Trina, she's so sweet, she's so nice, which I am. But when you cross me is when you get Moody Michaels. And if I'm at that point, you probably already really screwed up. So you're in trouble.
So it's just like your alter ego. Like when you go out to the ring, it's just like she could be really cool, but if you don't give her that 3 count, it's going to be Moody Michaels' time.
Yep.
Well, I have to say, every time that I've, interacted with you, and I've actually ran into you at WrestleCon out in San Jose just briefly, and I think you're a sweetheart. I don't know where the Moody Michaels part comes from, but then again, I've never screwed you. So now I know you also have a YouTube channel. How big are you with the YouTube thing? Do you post on there a lot?
I used to post a lot. I don't post videos as much as I should anymore. I'm sorry. Anybody that's listening wants to go check out my YouTube page. It is youtube.com/Trina Michaels videos. You won't get to see any of the XXX rated stuff, so don't go looking for that. But if you want to see some entertaining wrestling promos and stuff from my matches, you can go to my YouTube page.
Now, you're doing the manager and valet thing. Was there anybody that you watched and kind of modeled yourself after?
Let's see. Get to that question. Names. I always blank on names whenever this question comes up. Let's see. One of my probably all-time favorites will always be Trish Stratus. I know she started out as a manager. I'm not too familiar with that part of it, but whenever she was at the ring as a wrestler, she just brought this very different vibe to the ring, and I always liked watching her. So, she's one I watched, and when I actually had to get in the ring for a brawl, I think back in August, and I looked up some of Trish's stuff to get some ideas. So, you have to go the best when you're studying. So, let's see. Other people that I've kind of watched some of their stuff, I wouldn't say modeled myself after, but definitely watched their stuff just to get some ideas. Sensational Sherry, obviously. I think she'd probably be one of my favorites. Miss Elizabeth, I think, dare I say, she's too tame for me, if that makes any sense.
Now, was there any managers? I mean, a lot of these girls that do awesome promos, but was there any managers that you kind of took some tips from, or kind of stole some little things, little traits that they did? And not particularly. I mean, there's always the great Paul Heyman that you got to watch, but I don't think I've really tried to steal their style necessarily. All right. And also, I'm looking at all these notes here that you currently live in Miami, Florida, correct?
Correct.
Now, you've always lived in Florida, or are you born and raised elsewhere?
I've been out in Miami about 6 years now. I'm originally from San Francisco and spent about 5 years in LA. So.
And that's why I love you, because you're a Bay Area girl, and I noticed you're a huge San Francisco Giants fan, correct?
Yes.
Now, how often do you how closely do you follow the Giants? Are you one of these fans that's kind of if I see them on, or or are you hardcore, no players?
Definitely not hardcore. Most of their games aren't really broadcast out here, but I try to check ESPN as much as I can and see where their standings are and who they're playing next and all that stuff. But this season I was definitely slacking on that.
So it had to be really cool to be out there this past WrestleMania weekend, kind of like a homecoming, right?
Yeah, right after they won the World Series and all that. Definitely cool.
Now, also, it has to be noted, and I was told that we have to do a spelling bee with you, because you're pretty good at spelling words. And I was looking at some of these words, and some of these words, I apologize. I don't even know if I'm saying them right because I've never even heard some of these words, but I heard you can spell really well. So,
oh, God.
So I'm going to put you on the test here. Let's see. What's the first one we have here? The first word we have here is simultaneous.
Simultaneous. Can you use that in a sentence, please?
It's an adjective meaning having wavy hair.
Having wavy hair. Simo, SIMORATIOUS.
You had a lot of the letters in there. So if I'm an easy judge, I'll let you pass on that one. So, but we'll get some other ones here. Like, let's see, because that one I don't even know if I was even saying that word right.
Oh my God!
All right, so here you go. This one is always a stumbler. Czechoslovakia.
Oh, good boy.
I can use it in a sentence if you want.
Well, it's a place, right?
Yes, the United States of America is so much better than Czechoslovakia. She's Googling it right now. Go ahead.
No, I'm actually trying to write it out in the air, like.
Oh, like the little
and
kids.
I'm trying to remember the letters that I. Beginning.
See, I wish this was a video interview because it'd be like the little kids at the spelling bees that look really fucking confused and they're all
right.
Like it looks painful watching a spelling bee.
I know the first letters are probably not the ones that I'm thinking because their language likes to put letters in weird places. See, and I want to say CH, and I feel like that is wrong.
Well, you had the first letter right.
Okay. C something, and then there should be EK, right? Check.
Mm-hmm. And then Vakia. That's close enough, though.
After the K should be an O, right?
There's
I
a
don't
C
know.
and a K and a Vakia somewhere.
And something
in there.
about a V and.
I'm sure the fans in Czechoslovakia will still watch your porns.
I'm sorry. I love you guys.
They're still huge fans of your work. So now I was also told that you're not very fond of Facebook. Why is this?
I'm not fond of Facebook. Well, it's more like social media in general. I don't know why I gravitate towards Twitter more than anything. And I don't even do Twitter that much, but when I do get on Facebook, I think people talk way too much. I like the 140 characters on Twitter, like short and simple to the point.
And then people put their foots in their mouths all the time on there. So you
right.
see people that are post something and people are, I swear there's trolls out there that are just quick to screenshot you doing some kind of tweet, saying something inappropriate, and then next thing you know, you're Hulk Hogan and you're having this issue where you said something that you're going to, pay for now for the rest of your life. So.
Yep.
Well, I can't be mad at you for not wanting to let too much out. It leaves a mystery about you.
Yes. Well, I'm actually a really private person, contrary to this crazy life I lead. I'm happy just being at home, like minding my own business. But it's like 180 degrees once I get to the ring. It's really crazy.
Now, I took a couple questions from fans because I was tweeting this out that you'd be on the show.
Okay.
A couple of fans sent some questions. So
cool.
I'm hoping that you're ready for all of this stuff. So a lot of them, I guess, are more fans of your porn industry than so much wrestling. So one fan wanted to know, do you know how many scenes you actually shot in your porn career? Did you keep a count?
I do not know how many actual scenes I shot. And if you try to figure it out, you have to remember also that the same scene gets chopped up for 10 different DVDs. So that being said, and don't think poorly of me when I say this, it's probably at least 300.
That's not bad, though. I've had people on here that have done like 500, 600.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably actually more of that kind of number, but I'm trying to be on the conservative side.
I told you, you don't need to be conservative unless you're running for office, unless you're running for some kind of political office, which, hey. But,
hey, if Kanye can run for president, Trina Michaels could run for office somewhere.
Exactly. I would campaign for that. I'm totally down for that. So,
hey, I would probably whip this country into shape. You guys have no idea. I'd be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Fix it.
exactly. Now, let me ask you this. Now, a lot of people are all big up in arms about what Donald Trump has to say, being outspoken. Do you consider yourself, like you said, you're kind of a private person? Would you be more of an outspoken person like him, or would you kind of be more reserved?
Ooh. I don't know what my approach would be. Like, as far as Donald is concerned, some of the things when you listen to what he says are actually kind of on point, and they do make some good sense. I don't like how he's gone about certain things. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. But that is the game of politics, right? So,
well, that's the crazy thing.
Whatever it takes to make noise and get attention, right? I guess.
The crazy thing is I see what you're saying. I kind of totally agree with what you're saying there, is that, like, he says things that are like, you're just like, wow, like, did he really just say that? But then when you stop and you, like, replay it in your head a couple times, you're like, he's actually kind of making sense. He just has the balls to kind of say it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's no filter.
I don't know a whole lot about politics, but I consider myself an old-fashioned person, so I do see a lot of the stuff that is wrong with our country, not to get all into politics, but, you know, like, I do see some of the things. So when Donald Trump does talk, it's kind of like, oh, you know, that could actually help fix our problems, that's what we need, you know? We're supposed to be the superpower of America, so let's get back on track, people.
I think what happened is we kind of just got so stuck in, like, being PC, and we're so afraid to do things and say things because we're afraid we're going to offend somebody. Then this guy's kind of like a mouthpiece for some of these people that are like, shit, that's what I've been thinking forever, but I just was afraid to say it, you know? And but then again, when you have Donald Trump's money, you can pretty much say whatever the hell you want, you know? Us common folks, DJs and porn stars and wrestlers, we don't make that kind of guap to just shoot off at the mouth, you know? So another fan tweets in, he says, what was your favorite types of scenes to shoot when you were doing porn?
Oh, boy. My favorite types of scenes, all of them. I always had fun.
Like, you're just a very sexual person, right? You just
pretty much.
It didn't really matter how and where you were getting it. It was just how and where you were getting it.
Something like that.
And there was actually fans who are familiar with your wrestling career and sent in some questions. And I texted you before the interview, and I was like, we'll do a trivia thing. And you're like, oh, no trivia, no trivia.
Yeah.
So, but one fan wanted to know, what is your favorite match of all time? Like, what two wrestlers do you remember seeing in a match? And you're like, that's my favorite wrestling match. Like, did you actively watch it enough to have a favorite match?
Not really. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something good. I don't know.
I know you mentioned you were a big fan of Trish Stratus's work, so I mean, obviously she's had a lot of
but I'm bad at, like, oh my god, this specific match. I don't have anything in particular.
Okay. Next question a fan has: if you could pick your own entrance music, what would it be and why?
Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I was trying to use Bad Reputation from Joan Jett, but I guess that's somebody else's song, so I don't want to offend her because she could whip my ass. But I think that song fits me pretty accurately as well. Let's see. You know, I if I got to pick an entrance music, I will go with my female rap counterpart, Trina, the Diamond Princess, and her song "Bad."
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good song. That's you definitely cue that up when Moody Michaels is starting to come out.
There you go. Get in that right mood, that badass, like, yep.
Now, have you ever considered having, like, a different stage name, or you just kind of ride with the Trina Michaels thing, or? Because Moody Michaels is kind of cool, but like.
Yeah, I should make that my official name. No, I thought about changing my name, but like everybody already knows who I am. There's no hiding the past, so I don't know. I prefer to stick with Trina. Like, I could drop the last name, that's fine, but I prefer to keep my name because, you know, that's what my fans know me as. That's who I am, you know, so.
And then fans who see you at a wrestling event who aren't familiar with you are like, oh, she's a really cool wrestler. Let me just Google Trina Michaels.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh,
so
shit, dropping her
so
phone. Yeah, exactly. Another fan says they know that you're into sports like baseball, but is there any other sports you're into other than baseball and wrestling? Do you watch anything else that you follow closely?
I grew up in a football house, 49ers, obviously. I do like a little bit of basketball. Again, I don't follow them all, like, super close. There's too many games, too many seasons. But I do enjoy some basketball.
So are you a big Warriors fan? I mean, they just they're on
funny
a hot
thing
streak.
is, I'm not a California basketball fan. I guess now that I'm out here in Florida, I kind of
you jumped on that Miami Heat
appreciate
bandwagon.
the Heat. I guess.
Do people still go to their games now that LeBron is gone? Like
they do.
I'll tell you
they better.
A quick story about my social experience with the Miami Heat. So when I was down there for WrestleMania a couple years ago, I decided to stay an extra day, and I was going to take in the Miami Heat and the Philadelphia 76ers, being, you know, a Philadelphia guy. And I got this vibe that, like, the people there, it was like a social hangout. Like I felt like nobody really knew anything about basketball. The whole highlight of the game for people was when they were like 2 minutes and they're like dos minutos. That was like what everybody everybody was waiting for 2 minutes left in the game or 2 minutes till halftime. That was just like they were like, fuck yeah, it's 2 minutes till halftime. This is our part, guys.
That's when I get all excited.
That's what we
now,
practice.
You mentioned 76ers. I did like watching them when AI was there, so.
Yeah, that was really good, you know, back in the day. And now sadly, we can't win a basketball game to save our lives. We got people jumping off bridges here, you know. I tell people, I was like, there's no point jumping off the bridge. They're not going to win a game. Just accept the fact they're not winning.
Right.
You know, it's not worth
just
killing yourself
enjoy
over.
the sport for what it is and know that you're not going to get a title.
Exactly. So other than the YouTube channel, I'm going to let you go ahead and promote where everybody can find you, so where people can interact with you. I know you don't do the social media much, but where can people find you?
You can look me up on Twitter at Trina Michaels. If you want to follow my wrestling drama, you can look up at Trina Mania. Facebook, if you feel like going on there, although you'll probably really only see posts from one of my fans, Carl. But Facebook is under my name as well, Trina Michaels. It should be a picture of me in a blue bikini and a San Francisco 49ers hat. I think that's about it. YouTube, again, is Trina Michaels Videos. And I'm actually contemplating getting Instagram. Oh, my God, I can't believe I said it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Is there anything you want the fans to know before you leave?
Yes, tune in to wwnlive.com for some really cool Trina Mania action.
There you go. So check her out, Miss Trina Michaels. We appreciate you calling in and talking to us. It was a huge honor. This is something that I've been trying to do for years. I told her, I said, we joked when I first started talking to you. I was like, I've been scouting her for years. I'm like, God damn it, be on my podcast. Like, I'll fucking pay you. You know what I mean? Like, get on the podcast somehow, some way. And then I ran into you in San Jose at WrestleCon. And shout out to Chris from Gold Club. And he was just like, oh, you know, this is who you should interview on the podcast. And I'm like, yeah, well, duh.
You're like, duh.
Yeah, we've been there, done that. I've been down that path, you know. So I really appreciate you coming on. I'm a huge fan of your work. And
thank you for having me.
We hope to see bigger and better things from you. And thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Bye. This is Miss Center of Controversy, Trina Michaels, and you're listening to Mixed Master B on MMB Radio.